So here we go. Scotty versus Sox. First game of Division 3 in the anniversary season in Steel Division League Season 10. As is a full-size division, 16 players. We are here in Group D, which has Scotty and Sox as veterans of tournaments, and then Liga Regiment, who is a veteran of the game, who is a big, well-known name in the Chinese community, organizer there of tournaments and so on as well, but a bit of a new name to League at the moment, so that's going to be interesting. And then Loggy, who's a leather hero, who we'll see how he will face here in the tournaments as well. Really, really interesting here. Group D. And Scotty versus Sox, first game here. If you want to support the tournament in general, check out Match Arena. You can help out funding the prize pool here for the players via Match Arena. And you can even do it with just the claim code to add money directly to the prize pool. And if you want to help me looking really fresh for the league finals, then subscribe on Twitch. If we get to 50 subscriptions, I will get this lovely hat and wear it for the finals. So at the moment we sit at 26. Let's go up to 50, guys. Let's get me all dressed up there nicely for the grand finals of the anniversary season. That would be really, really lovely. Kalarazi here coming around in good number. Breda AC and so on as well, as we are in here on Tannenberg with this matchup. Balanced versus balanced, and we have an interesting matchup as well. Corporal 6 Territorial for Scotty here on the left side, while Sox is bringing around Verteidigungsbereich Toulon. Oh, that's going to be interesting. Verteidigungsbereich Toulon. And Corporal Territorial not having too much tanks early on, at least. Territorial will get some T-45s. Toulon gets a couple of lovely Stooks and a couple of small French tanks, but that's it for the whole game. Infantry-wise, both divisions have pretty strong stuff as well. Mottis versus, on the other side, Maros, so that's gonna be interesting. Kalarazi coming around in good number. Kalarazi Motto for herself. And Tannenberg, a map that allows for a lot of different sorts of combats as well. You have these towns with mid-range combat, house-to-house fighting. You have this forest, which is absolute CQC hell. And then you have, up in the north and around the south as well, some plain open fields where you can have really, really good long-range fights as well. So you kind of need everything in your division. Not sure if these two divisions have that. We're gonna see, though, how it will all play out. Kalarazi Mottos will try to hold the line. Kriegsmarine Infantry coming in. I'm surprised that we see balanced from both players, because I feel like if you can push the enemy out of their town, or early on, this map is just so hard to come back from if you get pushed hard. So yeah, I'm surprised that we see both unbalanced, but that's what they choose, and that's what they went with. As we have some bombers here coming in for the Kalarazi in the north. We have 109 coming in here with a nice, lovely bomb. Good dodge here though from Scotty. Scotty not gonna get hit by that. As Sox is moving those units, but we have a Potash coming in from the other side, taking out an AT gun as well. Pak 38 trying to open up onto one of these small little tanks, not quite getting it though. As we have some AA pieces coming around with some Flux 36 on the other side. No Dupla out just yet. As we have the Mottis slowly moving forward. Cherry Kalari with their 3 GP30s coming in as well. Pak 38 pushing in the north. As this is going to be exciting. Scotty versus Sox. Should be a really, really good game. ME410 moving around. Both sides constantly fighting. Big important part will be who will win the forest. And both sides have some advantages and disadvantages there. So Mottis plus Storm Pioneers for sure good. Maros plus Storm Pioneers there. You can get 3 Maros on top of each other. They can usually mow down TNT units before they can throw their TNT, but with this amount, I'm not sure that's quite possible. And then the TNT of the Motti obviously can be quite decisive there in these forest fights. TNT is always scary, but so is the Dupla. The Dupla are an insane AA piece, especially for the price. Great range, great damage. Double 25mm, do Hotchkiss, do insane amount of damage to anything flying around. If you get 3 or 4 of them online, the air is basically a no-go area for the enemy until they get rid of them. And they are pretty cheap as well, only 60 points, super cheap. In my eyes, too cheap, even though I like Territorial, but I believe it's a bit too easy for them to lock down the enemy airspace completely and kill off enemy airplanes with AA. Whilst we have T-70s here engaging Kriegsmarine Infantry, Panzer 39s moving around, Kriegsmarine Infantry over here engaging onto Kalarazi. Kalarazi shooting back with their sniper rifle. And we now have the Mottis moving forward in the center. Maros and Storm Pioneers on the other side, sitting around there. Me-410 still flying in the sky. If it gets too close to the Dupla though, it might have a rough time. Dupla now on target. But the Me-410 just gets out of there just in time again. The Arado might not be as fortunate, as it has to stay to the center. That's at least where it's coming in. Could hit the Mottis quite badly if it gets on top of that. But doesn't want to fly close to the Dupla. Got some shots in, but now is desperately trying to get out of there again. And the Dupla opening up quickly here. And as you can see, range is decent and damage is pretty decent as well. As the Arado will just barely make it out. Really slow plane. Off map coming in behind it. Mottis moving forwards. Maros coming in on the other side now. But all Mottis coming in at the same time, so they should be able to get their TNT out, and that is really bad for the Maros. That's not what they want. They eliminated one Motti over here, but they will get surrendered right after. TNT here, well executed by Scotty, and not getting hit by the off-map here will be a nice bonus on top of that. Me-410 still flying in the north. But we have a 1311 now for Scotty, who has an artillery piece in the north as well. That hasn't gotten onto anything just yet. Maros being pushed back. One of them not surrendered. I really thought that would get surrendered quite immediately. Dupla here trying to hit the Me-410s. We'll push them back quite soon. This Me-410 shouldn't stay around. That, yeah, thing is basically dead already. There we go. Going down now. Second Me-410 hopefully won't share that fate. Has to be careful around these Duplas. Duplas getting some damage there on target. Yeah, Sox needs to be careful there. 1311 now for Scotty. Down on the south we have a bigger setup on both sides. When we have a lot of Storm Pioneers and Maros coming in now. Breda on the other side. Will there be more infantry for the center? For Scotty, not so far. That's bad for the Mottis, as this formation for sure should be able to help out pushing them out of there, especially with the remaining Maros and Storm Pioneers. 4 Storm Pioneers and 2.5 Maros really should be able to do the job. And then Kalarazi Motto coming in the south. Breda desperately trying to hold the ground here. Kriegsmarine Infantry being pinned down. Stuk 3G in the rear. Slowly moving forward. As we have the Breda dying over here. Motti could get on top of the anti-tank gun here. 47mm for sure in the somewhat vulnerable spot there. Kalarazi with the sniper, always great as well. Kalarazi Motto, pretty decent infantry as well. MG42s. 2 of them for 30 points. Basically Panzer Grenadiers. As they will now fight versus the Kriegsmarine Infantry, who don't have that great of a firepower. Only MG08 15s. Motti's now getting bombed, but the BF-109's not on target. Second one will miss as well. But the Motti is already heavily reduced. Storm Pioneers at least will fall. But this here now will push in, and that might get quite the damage done. Potash flying around over here. Kalarazi Motto hitting the Kriegsmarine Infantry. Will keep them pinned down, will keep up the damage. And in the north some artillery flies around. That's a long-range shot for this artillery. That's not what this artillery is supposed to fire at range-wise. It doesn't deal much damage, only 75 millimeters, so it wants to be as accurate as possible with potentially radio and stuff. Against the Flak 36, it for sure won't kill it. It potentially might pin it down. That would already be helpful, obviously, but it for sure won't be able to get the kill there. Unless it's super, super lucky. Kalrazimoto being pinned down by an MG. Sucks now is the one on 1311. Holds the north nicely. And in the south is also in a decent spot. And now keeps the pressure on in the center. As Sturm Pioneers and Maros start to annihilate infantry units here. Motti trying to get that TNT off. Not able to do so just yet though. As the flames hit them. TNT gets out now, will eliminate the Sturm Pioneers, won't hit the Maros though, and that means that the Maros will be able to retaliate, will be able to instantly surrender the Mottis there. The Mottis will have to fall back further. Maro super insane with that 12 Berettas. Right, Jerry Kalari coming around, Brandenburger coming around as well. Sox will have really good infantry now in this town here as well. And yeah, the infantry of Scotty is good. As we are about to hit B-phase. And I wonder if we will see a good amount of T-34 85s early on, or what his plan is for B-phase. More Mottis will try to come in, but they're coming in piecemeal now. Unlike Sox, who got them all at once. Scotty is now bringing them in piecemeal, and that's not how you get good trades against Maros and Sturm Pioneers. You need to hit them hard with the TNT, as we saw it in the beginning. Like, that first trade was really good, but now Scotty is letting it slip in the forest fight. Potash not able to get on target here. Quite unfortunate. 1311 for Scotty once more as he captures his stealth though. That's a good positioning. Also a decent spot around here as well. Pack 38 there in quite a scary position too. As we have Cherry Kalari coming in. And the Potash is diving. Can that get some nice bombs onto Maros? Yes! Killing 10 of the Maros with the bombs. Really, really good hit. Potentially even could allow the Mottis some success there. No, they are already heavily pinned down. The Sturm Pioneers could win that fight, could pin them down before the Mottis can throw off their TNT. But Zox is not risking it. Will wait for his other units to recover or engaging again. Potash there for sure with a great bombing run. As we have now what I wanted. Pioneer Assault and Mottis coming in unison. 4 units at once, and that should swing it towards Scotty once more here in the center. Potash coming around for a kill here. The Egan actually died. Okay, really fortunate for Scotty there. As I believe that was really only the doing of the 75mm. I caster cursed that AA gun. I'm really sorry there. Potash gets killed by a BF-109 though, but it got the kill on the 47mm beforehand. But yeah, that's a big surprise. Like, wow. Okay. The 75mm here. Without radio. Sniping that on the long ranges. Here it has radio. And a decent accuracy. Will do some pinning. And once these 4 units have arrived, with the double flamethrower, especially of the Pioneer Assault, together with the TNT of the Motti, a lot can be achieved. Dublas also showing once more their absolute prowess. And showing that they're an absolute beast, killing off the enemy. We have 109 there. So, taking revenge for the Potash. We have some 75mm French guns now. Which only have HE shells. There are no anti-tank guns. Trying to push back IL-4s. BF-109 over here in trouble as well. Dupla once more doing its insane work. Killing off another BF-109 here. Even without veterancy. Yeah, these Dupla guns, so strong for 60 points. As I said, in my eyes, a bit over-tuned. As we have Mottis and Pioneer Assault coming around. Maros trying to hold the line. Kalrazimoto holding it in the south. Brandenburger under fire. Kalrazimoto versus Brandenburger. Quite the interesting engagement. Ju-88 coming around for the Kalrazimoto as well. Will drop their bombs. And 1311 now for Scotty. No Dubla down here though. Kalrazimoto will die. Ju-88 will move it out. And engagement so far not perfect here, but the next 4 have arrived. TNT of the Motti still will wipe out a unit over there. And the couple of units of Sox here, all half strength. A couple more Maros coming in, but it's only 2. As we are getting into B phase. Artillery still flying around. Scotty keeps the take up for now. Obviously 13-11 not much, but if he can push through here in the center, there could be a 59 in this for Scotty. Dubla holding the line here. Next Dubla coming up. We have more Quasimodo coming in. 13-11 still on, and here we go. Double Flamers running over the Maros. One Motti does fall to the Maros and the Storm Pioneers, but now the Maros will get eliminated. Storm Pioneers should fall in a second as well. As they are behind the hill there. And yeah, Motti's getting on target. Pioneer Assault not quite getting on top there just yet, but the Mottis should be able to do that on their own. Yeah, there we go. Storm Pioneers down. And now, if combined, these guys should be able to push through here quite easily. The Quasimodo also holding the line quite nicely, killing off a couple of Brandenburgers even here. Brandenburgers not being sent into the forest, being used in the town fight instead, where they have similar firepower though to the Quasimodo, especially on the long range, as both sides will have MG42s, so it's not that easy to overcome this defense, especially if snipers can get involved as well and so on. Koenigsegg Kalari with the 3 ZB30, also really good firepower for 20 points. Their weakness mostly being their availability. Kriegsmarine Infantry being hit. Potash hitting Panzer 39 as well. The AA guns not pushing back the Potash, at least holding the IL-4 off, but the Potash gets through. And Scotty keeps the pressure up here. 13-11 still going strong. Once we have Pioneer Assault hitting the Mauro over here. Doing some good damage. Mauro getting pinned down. Motti coming in over here, eating a lot of damage from the Mauro, but getting a TNT on target. Yeah, getting annihilated there. But the Mauro will get killed off as well, and that's a 14-10 now for Scotty. And the center is looking pretty dicey now for Sox. Sox under fire there. Another AEP is coming in. Flak filling 37
of the
being the unit
maximum
there.
Scale.
As we have more Mottis coming in. And yeah, I have to agree there. Aligun. That was a big oof there for Sox in the center. That didn't work out. Bombs doing a good job as well down in the south. And this is not looking hot for our player in blue. Verteidigungsbereich Toulon is in trouble. See some artillery here now for Sox as well, but I'm not sure if support units is what Sox needs right now. Kriegsmarine Pioneers is what he sends into the center now, but that's only 2 units, while on the other side we have 3 more Mottis coming in. We have another artillery piece coming in as well. In the south is still a stalemate, but the units of Sox have been whittled down a good bit. Another Brandenburg over here died. Kriegsmarine Bootsbesatzung, great firepower as well with 3 MG34. Quite expensive unit as well though. 13 strength there. But they are pushed back out of there as well. The snipers, together with the Quasimodo, really doing a good job on winning these infantry firepower fights. They take a long while, as it's heavy cover versus heavy cover. But eventually they win the fights. And now the Quasimodo with the MG42 getting on top of an A-gun in the open. Already pinned them down, will wipe them out in a second. That means that the Poters will have an easier time here once more. Flak filling 37mm might have something to say about that. At the same time, Stuk hitting a Pak 38, that's nice as well. But Sox for sure in a lot of trouble down here. For sure in a hell of a lot of trouble. As we have a radar 47mm coming in the same time, chat, and this is looking like it might be a 59 in a second or so. Brandenburgers not getting the TNT out against the Quasimodo. Big oof. As yeah, this is the 59 actually already. Brandenburger will die here soon. If the Quasimodo ever get line of sight on them, and they should be able to get that in a second. This last man will fall here. Under heavy fire already. There we go. He drops dead. And we have the 59. T-70 shouldn't take the fight against the Stuk. That's not healthy. But the 59 for sure is great for Scotty. Potash trying to run in here. Flak 37 has... Zwillings Flak 37 that is. Has something to say about that. The dual barrel has a great amount of firepower. Even annihilates the Potash there. So good kill there for Sox. As we have an L4 coming in here now. That shouldn't go there. It just saw what happened to the Potash. They will still try. Not a fan of this. Not a fan of this at all. The dual flak 37mm. The flak Zwilling is doing the job here. First L4 pushback. Second L4 pushed back as well. And now it tries to kill off the first one. It should have focused fired on the second one. I don't believe it can kill the first one. If it would have focused fired on the second L4, it could have killed it. Now it will leave both relatively heavily damaged, most likely, unless it gets some lucky rolls on the second one now, which doesn't seem to be the case. But the L4s at least will be out for a while. Not the cleverest of choices there from Scotty to get that one in again. Ju-88 coming in on the other side. But the Dublas doing a lot of work as well. Ju-88 at least will get its bombs dropped, but it will take a good amount of damage home as well, as the Dublas do their work here. So yeah, as you can see, this Ju-88 is battered. At least it got a good hit on the Kalrasi though, as the Dublas are quite far behind the front line now. They could move up a slight bit closer. This one is hard to move, as it is so far out in the open, but this one here for sure could move. As we have more AA coming in, flak 36s and 155mm artillery pieces as well, which are fantastic support artillery guns as well. The 75mm here, trying to hit the Kriegsmarine Pioneers. Pioneer with the TNT and the Panzerschreck, for sure. Quite solid support units for town fights and so on. They only have 8 hit points though, which is their biggest weakness. And the Motties could run them over. Could allow Scotty to take the whole forest here. It's only 4 Kriegsmarine Pioneers, it's 5 Scotties, it's 2 Pioneers sold with double flamethrowers. So yeah, potential would be there. The Commandant in that position is a ambitious one from Sox, to say the least, in my eyes. As the infantry on the other side is just so much more numerous, and it's also holding a nice spot. No, they could be a bit further forward. In the Pioneer trying to move forward there. 105mm artillery pieces on the side of Sox on the battlefield now. Off map coming in as well. That could be devastating. This off map hits nicely. That could be really fantastic. It's a slight bit off, but that might actually be right on top. If Scotty thinks that the front line lands right on in front, he might retreat. He goes for the opposite though. Scotty goes all out attack, and that actually might have a negative effect on Sock's defensive line here. That off map, all of his. As that leads to all the units of Scotty now annihilating the Kriegsmarine Pioneers. Motti's taking heavy damage as well, but a lot of TNT flying on all of these units here. And the Kriegsmarine Pioneers will get annihilated before they can take more than one Motti out. And that is really, really bad for Sox now, who only has some leader units here and an AA piece that really doesn't do that much against ground units either. Artillery is still flying in, but the 59 here, with only 8 minutes remaining for Sox, is really, really bad news for him, as Scotty keeps up the pressure. Gets another artillery piece out, gets it on target against the 75mm in the north, and yeah, 59 going strong. Kriegsmarine Pioneers as CQC infantry trying to come in, but they are just outclassed by what is there on the other side. More Automachikis also now coming in for the forest, as we have a Stuk 3G in the south under fire by Pak 38. Doesn't retaliate at the moment, but the infantry helps out. Kriegsmarine Bootsbesatzung pushing forward. Stuk 3G does die though. It might allow the T-70 here to help out. Potash actually gets its bombs out. That is massive, as these infantry units here, we're keeping up some good pressure here onto Scotty. Sox brings it back to a 1014 at least, as the Potash doesn't even get killed off by the flak Zwilling. Not sure what exactly happened there, as we have another 150mm artillery piece coming around as well. Killing off the AA piece over here. Kriegsmarine Pioneers will try to come in. 4 of them joining the fight there. Automachikis coming in. Another Potash run. This time the flak Zwilling should be in a spot where it can fire again. And yeah, it is. So that might end badly for the Potash. Potash won't be able to get its bombs dropped. And it should be dead here once more. Flak Zwilling doing a lot of damage. Potash not the most resilient of planes. And there we go. Potash bites the dust. Flak Zwilling doing a good job there. But the artillery fight is in favor of Sox, and the infantry fight is in favor of Sox as well right now, in my eyes. Killing off some Sicherungs. The bombing run down here was fantastic. Kriegsmarine Bootsbesatzung could even be pushed back by T-70 alone, and then this flag would fall back into Sox's hand, into Scotty's hand. Kalarazi keeping up the pressure as well. 1410 is on, and yeah, these two really going at it. Really going at it. Motti's pushing forward. Pioneer is sold. Can get some nice flamethrowers onto these Pioneers as well. Motti going down though. Pioneer is sold versus Kriegsmarine Pioneers. Doing some decent work. Flamethrower shots onto the second Pioneer. Getting the pin down. Getting the kill. Motti's moving forward. 1410 for Scotty. Artillery landing all over the place from both sides. But Scotty on the way to maybe get this flag. The Kriegsmarine Bootsbesatzung in a good space though, to at least zone the enemy out for a while. As the ME410 here might not be in a good spot. Flak 36 and the Dublas firing on top of it. Especially if the Flak 36 might be able to get a hit. But even the two Dublas might get close to kill it off. ME410 will escape for now. And we get a good amount more artillery pieces and support guns here from Sox, who is holding the ground in the south with just tanks. Kalarazi Motto now getting hit by the Kriegsmarine Bootsbesatzung. Both sides can't use their MGs, so it's only rifles, and here the MP40s of the Kriegsmarine Bootsbesatzung. And that one Orita on the other side. The 5 MP40s will win the fight. Ooh, Panzer 35 goes down as well. 1410 for Scotty. Really trying to keep up the pressure, but not quite having the 59 that would be necessary to end this quickly here. Off map once more, quite nicely on target. AE trying to shoot the plane down. No anti-air up here, and we even saw artillery killing off the Flak Zwilling over here. Well, we didn't quite see it, but it did happen. We have a BF-109 kill off the off-map plane. The off-map still happens though, so it's not super worthwhile to kill it there. Would have just been a slow recon play from now on out anyways, as the third off-map is going to land here. Sox trying to disengage there. 1410 still happening. Scotty that it is trying to disengage. Regida guns really good as well. Can be great as 2000 meter support guns, can be great as anti-tank guns, like an all-round beast. Good bit more expensive than back in the day, but the high rate of fire, versatility, even being using indirect fire if you wanted to, really makes this thing quite the beast. Flak 36, shooting up a BF-109 in the skies. Together with the Dublas, that should be a kill. Yeah, Dubla coming in here. BF-109 goes down. And Scotty should really shoot for a 59 now. 59 would end this game quite quickly and really end any chances of his opponent going in, and I believe that is possible. Same time though, artillery starts to chew into Scotty's lines. Ju-88 over here, not being able to drop its bombs. Dubla trying to get the kill there, will be able to do so. Yeah, 2 Dublas even shooting down the Ju-88. Such fantastic AA pieces, really doing their job so well. But the artillery starts to hit the infantry. I'm still not quite seeing Sox here being able to push back, especially as artillery is flying back the other direction as well. But really, as this flag down here could be quite easily captured, and the one in the north potentially as well, with there being really little defenses, if attempt on a 59 could be quite nice. IG-33 here, starting to hit up units. Motti is pretty dead. Yeah, down to 5 hit points. Needs to disengage now, otherwise the next salvo will be fatal, most likely. Yes, the IG-33s also get more accuracy. Okay, shots are flying. Motti's try to disengage. Okay, will only take 2 damage thanks to the late but still just in time disengage. Flak 36 coming in once more. Another T-30-45. Nothing that looks like Scotty will try to go for the 59. We'll keep it on the 1410. 8 minutes, 27 remaining. 4 Sox to try to bring it back, which won't be easy, but with 8 minutes still might be somewhat possible. Issue is, after that, Sox still needs to push Scotty off this map completely, which won't be easy at all. But it's a bit risky here by Scotty to not get the 59. Strelke DPs versus Kriegsmann and Bootsbesatzung now in the south. Kriegsmann in the Bootsbesatzung doesn't have any anti-tank. I don't know why the T-70 is not getting on top of it. Could absolutely do it. Kalaravasi coming around as well. 1410 is happening as the IG-33s try to hit some units around here. 75mm coming in as well. 150 and 75mm here from the rear, starting to shoot up the IG-33s. As we have some more artillery on the other side as well. Yeah, a lot of artillery here from Sox for him being in such a big trouble in the front line. IG-33 wipes out the Regida though, and that is really, really massive. And yeah, IG-33 still alive. Kalarasi coming around. T-34, T-70 finally getting on top of the Kriegsmarine Bootsbesatzung, which will end the life of the Kriegsmarine Bootsbesatzung eventually. DT and the 45mm slowly firing them up. Kalarasi could push forward as well. Question is, can the Kriegsmarine Bootsbesatzung kill the Strelke beforehand? Most likely not, unless they can get around the corner there. And G33 there, quite dangerous as well. Kalarasi need to get on top of this. Yeah, that could have been a 59 for a while. And if Sox will be able to push back Scotty with like 3 minutes remaining, 2 minutes remaining, then this is where Scotty lost that chance of getting that 59. Kriegsmarine Bootsbesatzung, Kriegsmarine Infantry under fire. For now though, it still looks like Scotty has this in his hands. Motti under fire, Kriegsmarine Bootsbesatzung on the other side. Nearly pinned down as well though, and this is still a really strong show in the center. Kriegsmarine the Pioneers though in a somewhat decent spot to ambush the T-3045, which would be rather unfortunate. Isle Force flying around. First one pinned down, second one really coming in here. IG-33 dropping, IL-4 dropping its bombs. Potash coming against the IG-33 over here as well. Potash will be pinned down though before no, it just drops its bombs in time, gets the IG-33. That's big. These IG-33s were really helpful to trying to deal with the units over here in the town. One being pinned down, one being completely wiped out is big. Flak 38's trying to push forward. We have 5 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock remaining only though. And even if Sox is able to stabilize now to a 12-12, he will have less than 20 minutes to get Scotty down, take down all the way as well. And that's not going to be an easy task as both sides are balanced. So Scotty will have a lot of income to throw into Sock's way. Kriegsmarine Infantry trying to come in here. 1410 still going on. And yeah, T-70 here now engaging the Bootsbesatzung once more. Bootsbesatzung really can't do anything about it. So the 59 with the flag in the south still possible. As we see the Bootsbesatzung now taking more damage. The DT not able to fire here, seems like. Yes, it's all down to the 45mm to do the damage. Can it finish off the job? Yes, it does now. Should shift the front line forward. I'm not quite sure if it will go all the way to 59 yet. Kalarasi should be able to push it there though. As the T-3045 also should be able to deal with the IG-33 if it wants to. Not so much with the Flak 38 though, that's a bad engagement. As we have 4 minutes 20 remaining. Kalarasi Motto slowly but surely pushing the front line over here. IG-33 not quite on target. Yes, the T-3045 engages over here. T-34 over here does disengage. That's the right decision. So we have more infantry, more Regidas, and all of that nice stuff coming in. Kriegsmarine infantry on the other side. A Pack 43. Okay. That's great if the game would have already stabilized, and that would be a 12-12. But Sox still needs to push for now. And Pack 43 won't be that helpful in my eyes to do that. Kriegsmarine Pioneer missed their chance in my eyes here to get on top of the T-34. Well, maybe not. Kriegsmarine Bootsbesatzung immediately annihilating the Automachiki here as they try to push deeper. And then the Pioneer still potentially could come back as the Pioneer Assault also pinned down. Could kill off the T-3045. That would be a nice hit, but it's now a 59 as the flag has fallen in the south, and that's only 1 minute 34 remaining here for Sox. Sox needs to get it back to a 10-14 immediately, otherwise this game will be over now in 1.5 minutes, and even without that, it would not be much time here. Sox just doesn't quite seem to have enough to mount any bigger counter-offensives anymore. Yeah, the T-34 might get under attack by the Pioneers soon here, but it's still a 59, and 59 is a major problem. Dublas once more finding another victim here, another Ju-88 going down. Such an insane AA piece. Really just deleted Stock's airplay completely here for 180 points. 3 Dublas enough to make anything like that worthless, and in the end, Scotty will take map number 1. Tannenberg goes to Scotty. We have a really good player with the Corporal Territorial. Really good play in the forest, especially. That's where Scotty got most of the flag advantages. But the fight in itself, also, just really good infantry traits there. In the end, with a great KD as well here. The Dublas doing their part as well in getting him there. Radar and the tank guns together with the infantry, with the Calorasimoto, just doing a fantastic job there. GGVP to Scotty in game number 1, and Sox will have to step it up to get that turnaround in game 2. So here we go, game number 2 between Scotty and Sox, and we are once more in a balanced versus balanced matchup. This time on a river map, so a unit has prospect for being a long game, as the matchup is quite interesting as well. Scotty bringing in a classic that we haven't seen too much of lately though. 28 Jaeger infantry, still fantastic. One of the best 20-point infantries out there. Whilst Sox brings around 5th Cavalry Motorizata. Pretty good division as well. Obviously the favorite of a certain attack power gaming. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Both having good infantry. Both having some armored support, but not super much. One side having a good couple of Stooks, the other side having some lighter tanks and some Stooks as well. Rigida, obviously great, but if the enemy doesn't bring any tanks around, might not be that fantastic. As we are going in. Once more, if you want to support the tournament, you can go to Match Reno and help out with the contribution button there. And with that said, let's just jump right in here into game number 2 between Scotty and Sox. Scotty being able to get the first score on the board. These are best of 2 games, as it's the group stage. So Sox has the chance of getting a draw here for the results, but Scotty might not want to let that happen, as we have some Jaeger flamethrowers coming around. These are interesting flamethrowers teams, as they have 2 flamethrowers instead of the usual 1, but they also cost you 5 points more, costing you 20 points for a double flamer. As they're coming in here now, 12-12, 13-11 now for Scotty, who's on the way to push over the river here. Antikar, Baby Usual moving around over here. Jäger Scharfschützen under fire. Jäger under heavy pressure as well. As we have Panzerjäger trying to move around as well. And yeah, they're really under pressure here. Panzerjäger getting killed off. The ABU Jors really doing a fantastic job there together with the JB-53. JB-53, ZB-53, a pretty decent machine gun as well. 30 points, 1,250 meter range. Ooh, and we have an IAR 50 kilogram bomber coming around as well. 12 50 kilogram bombs on this recon bomber. And there's no AA up here. And the IG... Oh no, IG-33, you shouldn't unload directly next to it. Oh, can it get away? Pak-38 for sure is dead. The IG-33 will take some damage as well. Ooh, that was bad. It could have even been a slight bit worse, but still, that IR already getting a good amount of value. Jaeger MG42 here for sure dead as well. Roggiori went down though. Infantry advantage still should absolutely be on Scotty's side over here, but in the south, we see Sox annihilating the sail position completely. The units of Scotty a bit too far forward revealed themselves to all that long-range firepower, while Scotty didn't have that much long-range firepower themselves over there. Flak 43 coming in early here, but something needs to be brought in here to reinforce this hill. Otherwise, that hill will fall to Sox, and losing this hill really is a tough thing, as pushing back onto it is really painful. Sturmjägers and Jäger Pioneers will try to get on back here, as they're coming in. But will they be in time? It's only Ruggiori's for now. Couple of reinforcements coming in here as well, but they will take a while. MG42 here in a good spot. The Ruggiori's not able to cross the river. Really good defensive fire here by the Jäger MG42. Kalarasi might move forward at the meantime. Jäger MG42 over here getting pinned down. Ruggiori getting pinned down as well though, as the R1 has 2 MGs. Will slowly but surely do it, but it's not that great against units in cover. It's only a 10-point unit though, with a recon, so quite a nice vehicle for sure. 10 points for 2 MGs with armor is nice. Jaegers here might get on top of that ABU Jor. If they don't get killed, they get killed though, or at least half of them get killed, but the rest gets on top now, together with the Sturmjägers. Ooh, another Opel Blitz here going down though, and that one is dead for good. The unloading position there not quite perfect for Scotty, as the new units already pinned down again, and this is really, really good for Sox, as this now really secures that Sox will get on top of this hill and will be able to put pressure on these 2 reinforcement roads here. As pushing right back in here, so tough. You have great forests here for anti-tank gun. The line of sight here is fantastic, and yeah, the Jägers and Sturmjägers pushed back. Wait, the reinforcing infantry still on the way, not quite there just yet. And didn't get a surrender on the Jäger and Sturmjäger. So at least these are still around for now. Sox not pushing quite as hard as it would have been possible. Meanwhile, Scotty still having control over this forest for the most part. The double Flammenwerfer, the Pioneers, could overwhelm the Pioneer assault for sure, if they all would attack at the same time. Flak 43 is coming in the north to prevent the IR from doing the same again. So yeah, 2 Flak 43s should be a good shield against that, as the R1 has pushed back the enemy over here. And we have a 1311 now for Sox, bringing in more onto the hill, but reinforcements for Scotty actually able to make it in. Sox not quite pushing hard enough for my liking. Well, it's more Ruggiori's and Pioneers coming in. Ruggiori's pretty decent infantry, 25 points. Great rifle. GB also pretty fantastic. The Glide Grenadiers also fantastic infantry. MG42, 8 MP44s on the mid-range. These guys absolutely shred. And even CQC they deal a good amount of damage with 12 hit points for 30 points. There's the Ruggiori here. We'll try to eliminate the Jägers. Leader on the way to help out, getting them to 2-star veterancy, as we have the first Stuk arriving. No Rigida around here just yet. Only M42s, or M32s in the names of the Romanians, as we have more R1s coming in. IAR 37 coming in with 50 kilogram bombs once more. And the Flak 43 is a slight bit too far away there to prevent the bombing run, I would say. Potentially could get it on the way out if it turns the wrong direction. But the Jäger Pioneers here in trouble. Will get wiped out. And the IR even turns the right direction. That's unfortunate there for Scotty. As Sox once more keeps out the pressure on the hill. Still hasn't got full control of it. But AB Ujor's coming up. Pioneers trying to move around here. Ruggiori's coming around. JU87 and an IR coming around. Let's say the JU87 should get in range of the Flak 43. Yeah, the IR now this time around as well, as it is going relatively deep. Flak 43 not in time though to interfere with the JU87, so the Stuk will die. Focke-Wulf comes around though, will secure the kill on the JU87. Will try to get on top of the IR as well, but I fear that will get out beforehand. Yes, it does. And with that, it's still an equal trade. JU87 there getting the kill on the Stuk is quite nice. Might allow these units to push a bit further forward, as we have a 1311. Sturmjägers trying to move up again. That's the MP44 unit of Scotty here, and as you can see, compared to the Glide Jägers, they lose 2 hit points. They have an anti-tank grenade, but other than that, they lose 1 MP44 and 1 G43 gunner, and 2 hit points especially, so they are firepower-wise and hit point-wise a good bit worse for the same price. That anti-tank grenade is nice and all, but it's not quite the trade-off that you want there. And we have a 1311. Now happening, Sturmjägers getting on top of the Ruggiori's here. Should be a win for the Sturmjägers, I believe. As they are in range. Yeah, they are in range of their MP44s. Rogioris might just slightly with their double GB here. No, Sturmjägers will get the pin down first. Oh, or it's an equal trade. Okay. Sturmjägers did a bit more damage though. As they will get pushed hard now by R1s and further units coming up. Ayrton, hey, hello there. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. And we have Rogioris pushing in over here. Jäger Pioneers pushing back. Rogioris under heavy fire. Will be pinned down. The Clyde Grenadiers coming up in good numbers as well. Stuk 3G slowly moving in. And the ABU Jour will hit the Jäger Pioneers. Jäger Pioneers will get pinned down, will be wiped out soon as well. Sturmjägers will try to get on top of this, but not just not in time. The Clyde Grenadier helping out as well. ABU Jour instantly stunning them down. These guys will get surrendered, and that is a tough position now to be in for Scotty down here in the south. Stuk is nice, but if there is a Regida getting into this, and there is a Regida on the way now, this can lock down all of this. Rogioris still need to push forward a bit. Rogioris holding up against the Jäger Pioneers over here. We have a stalemate up in the north. For sure not enough units for Scotty, as Scotty lost a good couple of units here around the block as well. The Marder, for example. Oh, yeah, Marder burning here as well. IAR won't get in, as the Flag 43 is in a good spot. Might even be able to kill the IAR, but there's more units for Scots in the north than for Scotty. So Scotty won't be able to counter push there. Only advantage point currently is this, but that's not good enough to push with. Focke-Wulf fighter bombers may be the way to get something done, as there's currently no AA on the other side. Even Focke-Wulfs with strafing runs could do a good job. The M42s here hitting the Stuk 3Gs though, and the Stuk 3G already losing its gunner. Load and yeah. More crits coming in here. Eventually might go down. Well, no APCRs left in this one. R1 still really good here against the Jäger Pioneers. With the Jäger Pioneer not being able to do anything. Stuk 3G does fall here before the Regida even has arrived. And this is a really, really, really tough position for Scotty now in the south. And it seems like Sox currently in a good spot to try to get the draw out of this series. Which always is exciting. If the first couple of weeks ends in draws, that means that we will push the exciting and deciding games closer and closer to the playoff stage, and the games become more and more important. So, always a fan of games early on ending in draws. We will see if that will be the case, though. As for now, Scotty ain't out. Both players will get more and more income the longer the game goes on, as they are balanced players. And as you were able to see in game number 2, Sox was able to hang in there for quite a while as well. Maybe Scotty can do what Sox wasn't able to do last game though, and make a comeback from a somewhat rough spot. We will figure that all out in the next couple of minutes, as the R1s here really doing a lot of work. Scotty not quite sure how to deal with these. The R1s keep strafing down the Jägers here with the MGs and keep them occupied. As we finally have a Stuk taking out the first one, but for 10 points, these units are really doing a lot of work. Jäger Scharfschützen now being the next unit under fire, and it will fall most likely relatively soon. One number 2 goes down though, as we have an IG-18, bit too close for my liking to the front line. Should have unloaded back here, as it actually goes down and won't be able to do anything. Vegeta unloaded in the rear. That's not a good spot for Vegeta. I'm not sure why it's not moving further forward. Hotchkiss here, on the other hand, going way too far forward. Bit of a sloppy play on both sides here. As we have the Stuk 3G now engaging the infantry. And trying to push them back there. Panzerschreck moving forward though. 14-10 once more. Not a 15-9. Once more, I would say there is potential there for a 15-9. Just like in game 1. Where it was the other way around though. The flag over here potentially could be taken, for example. But it's not quite as easy this time. Like, all the flags are a bit out of reach for now for Sox, but 59 always should be the goal. Puts up so much more pressure on the enemy if they only have half the time until they get defeated. That first step, for sure, really, really strong. Heinkel 111 here with the 250 kilogram bombs coming in now for the Jägers. The Flak 43 not quite good enough to kill it on their own. The Fokker Wolf might be though. No fighter on the other side. The Hotchkiss way too far back. So the Heinkel 111, a bit of a waste here. Didn't do too much. Get kill off the Panzerjägers, but the Jägers even only stunned down halfway. Whilst we have more Stews, more Stooks, and the Regida not in position. The Regida now tries to get into a spot, but it's not there yet. And this might be Scotty's comeback onto the hill. We have the Glide Grenadiers on the other side together with Rogioris, so it will be a heavy, heavy, heavy fight here. But both sides have off maps, and that could make this all really, really interesting. If 20th Jaeger gets an off map on this hill, for example, that could make things really bloody. Regida here starts with some bloodshed as well. Stuk 3G goes down. Jaegers, though, on the heels of the Regida at the same time. Regida will have to run now. We have Sturmjägers coming in against Rogioris here. Only one hit point remaining, though, so that should be a quick kill. GB53, on the other hand, is in a nice spot. Jaegers coming up. Yes, we have Scharfschützen and IG-18s coming in at the same time. That IG-18 is going far forward though. That's not the range where you want to use them at. You want to use them at ranges where the enemy can't fire back with infantry. Like over here would be a good spot. Or back here. Maybe even back here. Yeah, even back here would be a decent spot. This far forward, IG-18s are pretty useless. Kind of same for the sniper. Sniper's too close to the front line as well. Regida over here though is in a bad spot. And there the IG-18 actually might help out. Regida getting killed really quickly there. That was a bad call in. Bad spot there for Sox. I guess try to get one in here to... If you get an IT gun in here, it's close to game over as you then really can shoot down this road completely. Second Regida also under heavy pressure. And we have a Heinkel 111 this time from Scotty's side, killing off the Glide Grenadiers. So Sox is losing ground here. Really not what Sox wanted. The 25mm over here also not in a great spot. Yeah, a couple too many missed positions lately from Sox, leading to trades that are not favorable for the player in blue. They're still not terrible, as we saw with the kill into the Stuk and so on. Like Sox is doing damage, but not quite as much and not quite as efficient as it could have been. 60mm mortars coming in. An off-map really would be key right now. I don't know why there is no off-map here. Whilst the Romanians hold the ground here. Jäger Scharfschütze hit the Begleit Grenadier. Calarassi will try to push back the Jägers. As we saw some ground taken, you know, flag taken for Scotty. Still down for 13-11 for Sox though. With the IARs coming in here. And this is the blind spot of the AA. Like, Black 43 will cover back here again, but up front, this is too far forward. So the IAR actually, nice call in here. Fokker Wolf goes down to good amount of AA here as well. So Sox with some nice trades again, as these IARs will demolish the Jaegers. First, yeah, both Jaegers down. IAR will take some good damage here, but should not quite die, unless it's unfortunate. No, won't go down. And Sox with some solid trades here again. Fokker Wolf shut down is nice. 60mm mortars out now here as well. And a good amount of infantry to push back these Jaegers and Sturmjägers for sure. You don't want to engage piecemeal though. That's not great, especially as the Jaegers are in better cover here. They are in deep forest versus the light forest of the Glide Grenadiers. And it's 3 teams versus 1. Oh no, it was only 1-1. The others were firing on the other Glide Grenadier. Okay, now they're getting engaged though. As we have some Stuks moving forward. I'm still not understanding why there's no off-map. An off-map artillery strike or 2 like would be so good. Artillery call in onto this position here could absolutely devastate Sox. And 28 Jaeger, like that's one of the main reasons why you play them. They have pretty solid off-map. So not using them here is quite bad. 120mm mortars being called in. That's curious. They're quite hard to use. They're not the most amazing mortars. As they 120mm mortars and 107mm mortars with radio, fantastic. The damage, if they hit the enemy target directly, really good. But they have an accuracy problem when they don't have radio. So you really want to get them as close as possible to the enemy, but then You might as well just use 60mm mortars or something like that, which is cheaper and relatively similar effective on shorter ranges. Like, yeah, that's the problem with 120mm mortars, that their range advantage over other mortars is not really usable if you don't have radio on them, which these don't have. And they are quite expensive, 90 points per mortar, so they really need to do the job. Opal Blitz over here gets killed by the M42 though. And yeah, Sturmjägers moving in. Rogierori's holding the line. Panzerschreck will try to push back the Jägers as well. Panzerschreck. Not quite able to do it though. As the Hotchkiss will push back the Heinkel 111 here in disguise. Oh. BF 109 gets on top of it. Heinkel 111 down. Sox with another good air trade. Might lose the BF 109 as the flak feeling is there. The flak 43 on top of it as well. The E7 is a pretty flimsy plane. Only costs you 65 points though. So losing it, not too bad. Especially if you get the Heinkel 111 for it. And yeah, why the Heinkel 111 instead of an off-map? This is... like... Scotty is desperately trying to get way back up here with infantry, but Sox infantry is just as efficient as Scotty's here, and if Sox can have the defensive ground plus the mortar fire, then Sox should be able to hold out here. Stuk 3G is on the way. No Panzerschreck up here anymore. No Regida or anything, so that Stuk 3G could be annoying here. But we have 120mm fire and 60mm fire here coming all down on this. They're all firing on the same target. That's a bit inefficient. Should have spread it out to these units as well. But the 120mm mortar, even dangerous for tanks if they can land directly on top of it. They have enough explosive firepower that they can wipe out a tank as well. And the Black Grenadiers over here get overwhelmed by the Jägers and Sturmjägers though. So Scotty is taking back some ground with these. The GB and the Black Grenadier over here might fall, and so might the mortars as they are now under fire. M42 from the rear trying to help out. Heinkel 111 with a good, or decent bombing run on the forest. IAR at the same time trying to come in over here, trying to hit all of these units. 120mm mortars on top of the Pioneers over here. But you need to pray to RNG Jesus when you use them like this. Okay, RNG Jesus is really on the side of Sox there with some of these hits. 2 direct hits in succession, killing off 3 units with each hit there. But yeah, as you can see, all the other ones landing quite around there, all over the place. Not killing the Jäger Pioneers. And that's not even that long of a range here. So yeah, that's the reason why I don't use more 20mm mortars. As the Flak 43 hits the IAR here now. IAR turns the wrong way. Might go down here now. Flak 43 in a pretty good spot. Came a bit closer to the southern terror. And the IAR is going really, really low. Will it survive? Oh, this is close. Opal Blitz here, once more getting hit. But Scotty is taking back the hill. Mortars not quite doing enough. Infantry not quite doing enough for Sox either. And we're now in C-phase. Both sides having a lot of income now. And Scotty brings it back to a 12-12. Does it without off-map. Loses the Stuk though. Stu coming in here. Stuk went down. And we have a lot of Rogieroris coming in. 60mm mortars trying to do some work here as well. And after the bombing run, Sox here with a good push with the Rogierori assault. Focke-Wulf fighter bomber versus Rogierori assault. Doing a good job pinning it down. IG-18 just falls beforehand though. BF-109 will go down. Focke-Wulf will survive for now. Heinkel 111 next thing. Trying to hit the Rogieroris over here, but I think the bombs are a bit off target. Yes, they are. These are 1000 kilogram bombs. So the second one actually lands. As the Heinkel 111 was so stressed out that it flew off target and actually landed on target thanks to that. So a bit unfortunate there for Sox. But the Heinkel 111 gets one of the Rogierori assault. The 1000 kilogram bombs have a great stun radius, so the second Rogierori assault is pinned down, and that gives Scotty enough time to get them back in there. As the southern fight still going on. Still some mortar fire here as support. As more mortar shots try to deal with the flak 43 over here. The salvo now really far away now, and as you can see, the circle is massive. Like, these shots are landing all over the place. And as I said, you need nearly direct hits to deal damage. When you do that, as you can were able to see earlier, you deal like 3 damage per hit, which is good, but really not with this accuracy. 12-12, back on the menu. Sox has an advantage here. If the game goes really long, Sox will win it just based on the position where we are in right now. If it stays at this, and balanced versus balanced river map games can just start to really get into a stalemate. And we might be here up to minute 50, but Scotty is back in it. Brought it back to a 12-12 and has some pressure onto the south. Lost it a bit again. The 60mm mortars with the infantry push did a good job, but the stew is in a nice place. More Sturmjägers coming in. Still can't quite get why there is no off-map involved just yet. Rogeri assault under fire as the Sturmjägers and Jägers get a kill there. Vegeta, really strong. Stuk 3Gs suffering over there. Another IR coming in. This time though, with off-map. Getting a nice call in there. Flak 43 not in range to deal anything to that. As we have the 120mm mortars being reloaded to shoot some more. Rogeri going down. Jägers and Sturmjägers coming up. Against clumps like this, the 120mm for sure can do a lot of work. As they are firing down here now. Sturmjägers and Jägers coming in here in a really heavy fight. Stu trying to move forward. Panzerschreck still around here. Never moved up though to try to get the kills. Another Flak 43 coming in. Focke-Wulf might be pushed back. Yeah, will be pushed back before it can drop. Hotchkiss there trying the best to get the kill even. As they might be successful at that. Yes, another Focke-Wulf going down to the Hotchkiss 25mm here. And the mortar rounds keep on flying. Off map landing nicely here on the Sturmjägers. And Sox did get some. More landing all around here. We have some big artillery pieces coming in for Sox now as well. Sox back to a 13-11. 14 minutes and 55 seconds remaining for Scotty here, if it stays at this tick rate. And we see some heavy fighting around here, but 120mm mortars can be really annoying. Not hitting the right spot over here though. Oh, or do they? Do the Stormjägers go just right back in? As they didn't retreat that far away. Okay, we finally see an off-map. 220mm mortar, millimeter off-map coming in now. I wish Scotty would have brought that out earlier. It could already have done a lot of work here. Ooh, Panzerjäger got spotted by the 210mm off-map. Yes, these are recon units. So the Stu got the shot there and got the Panzerschreck killed. Really good job there by that off-map already. You see, off-map, not just doing the off-map stuff, all around usable unit, obviously. Even a Beobachtungsschwimmwagen could even go boating on the river. Go for some recreational boating. As we have some IG-33 coming up. IAR-39 flying in from the other side. 13-11 for Sox. Slowly landing all over the place. Oh, the 210mm has to be careful. Flak 43 killing off the IAR. IAR didn't get a call in it this time. Or did it? No, it didn't. That's the 210mm off map. Coming in here. Wiping out the Sturmjäger though. They come in a bit too early. As we have 120mm trying to hunt down the 210. With a lucky hit, that 210mm off map could obviously be insta-dead. Hey, Fangir. Thanks for the... Oh, that was actually really close. Second hit is not that far off either. Okay, yeah, that is actually scary for the Beobachtungsschwimmwagen. I could lose one salvo there. Thanks for the subscription. Getting us closer to that lovely RAF head. That's really fantastic. We're 28 subs in there now. 22 remaining. Vegeta chilling out over here against the Jägers. IG-33 trying to come around. We have some more 22mm coming in for the Flak 43. As the Stu will have to move back. Rogeri on the fire over here. So we have some GB 53 holding out over here. Jaeger being pushed back. Binary Assault and Rogirori coming in for all of these spots. As the M30 will try to wipe out the Flak 43 over here. Well, it doesn't seem like it will have that chance though, as the Flak 43 is moving out of the way, unless the first couple of shots are landing on target. No, not quite. Now the Flak 43 should get out of there. But Scotty still on the 11-13. The off-map didn't quite get him back there, as he didn't have enough infantry this time around behind that. Has more now. Off-map right now could get Scotty back onto the flag, could get Scotty back to a 12-12. Rest of the map, really, really silent. No action whatsoever up here. It's really all about this part of the flag. Both sides, for the last 20 minutes, basically only piling stuff down here. A bit of action here from time to time, but not too much. Especially since the Regida is there, it's kind of locked down as well. The IG-33 could help, but mortars helping out there. The artillery park now here for sure quite massive. The 120mm mortars do some damage over time here. They will pay off eventually. Will take them a good while though. But yeah, off-map not coming in here to finish the job that it started. That's disappointing. As we have a Pak 40 coming in as well. IG-33 gets the kill onto the Regida. Will try to kill the Rogioris as well, but will fail at that. MG42 not on target against the Rogioris. Not quite having the line of sight. That's unfortunate. We have a GB53 here helping out as well. Hotchkiss is coming around. A lot of artillery fire landing all around the place. Heinkel 111 trying to come in here for the hill, but there's just so much AA firepower that Heinkel won't get in there. You know, and it even will have to be careful to not die here against all that Hotchkiss firepower. The 210mm not doing too much either. Schwere Feldhaubitze 118 with its 150mm trying to hit the hill up here. Not quite on target there either. The Sturmjägers try to keep up the pressure against the Rogioris. Back to a 12-12 it is for now. The 210 actually rotating around. Will Scotty try to push over here? It kind of looks like it. Jägers coming around, Sturmjägers coming around. I'm so surprised we didn't see another off-map here though. Like, obviously we have God's eye view, we see that there's a lot here, but I mean, Scotty saw how much Sox had there time and again. And why should Sox go away here? Ooh, another good kill here by the Lieutenant Pioneer with their Panzerschreck against another Stuk. Yeah, moving up here with Stuks, really, really scary. And the artillery park here from Sox continuously firing now. 13-11 once more. 30 minutes played. IG-33 over here now under heavy fire. Pinned down as the mortar shells keep on flying and will eventually connect if you give them enough time. IG-33 now down to 1 hit point. Pak 40 under fire. Won't finish the job just yet as the Schwere Feldhaubitze tries to fire back, but it's not quite perfectly on target there. Flak 43s will at least prevent the Heinkel 111 here from pushing in, but it's still not a good spot here for Scotty. Scotty at least gets it back to a 12-12, but needs to push eventually. Needs to get a W here with some of the operations. And needs to get to a 59 eventually, even with only 19 minutes remaining here, to take Sox back as much as Sox ticked them. As the 150mm landing on this forest, but the units are moving, so the 150mm not hitting too much there. At least the Sturmjägers pushing in a bit deeper over here, but great amount of reinforcements coming in. Like the Jäger Sturmjäger versus Roggiori Bekleidgrenadier battle here is basically endless. Like the amount of infantry dying on this hill is quite insane. It's an absolute, like, if there would be flood effects in the game, this hill would be already red completely. R2s here hitting Sturmjägers as well. The amount of pockets here in the ground where all the artillery shells, all the 120mm mortars landed and so on is also really a good indicator that this battle has gone on for a while here and it won't stop. Sox wants to get this hill And Scotty desperately tries to defend it. As the 120mm, where did it go? Wait, did it die? I don't see the 120mm anymore. It might have gotten killed in some artillery fire over here. Yeah, it's killed over here. That's really unfortunate. Still don't get why it didn't shoot down here. Felterbitze still trying to do some shots into the rear, but the artillery advantage is heavily on side of Sox, so Scotty needs to do something fast with some ground action, and I don't see that happening on this map. Like, the defensive line of Sox is getting better and better. We see some good amount of Jaegers and so on coming in here, but without the off-map to softening up the other side, I don't see that having much success before Sox can get some artillery on top of it, can get some infantry reinforcements coming in with the 155 points of income that both sides have. And this is a massive problem. Stew goes down in the south once more. The Vicar is there in a good spot. And the continuous artillery fire whittling down the infantry forces of Scotty here. Bit by bit. More units coming in. 2 Stooks even coming in here for the center. As Regida is trying to defend itself here against some Sturmjägers. Sturmjägers all already pinned down. That is not they are not going anywhere. 120mm mortars keep on firing into the south as well. As we are back onto a 13-11, 35 minutes played. As we see some R2s versus Jaegers happening, and here we go! GGVP. As Sox is equalizing the score 1-1. And yeah, well played. 2 really good games here. Heavy action, both players had their fair share of success, but also both sides really trying to stick in there, trying to get it back. Couple of things for sure that both sides still can improve, but really good game still from these players. Looking forward to see more of them in Division 3 and see what they will look like at the end of the season. As for now, they equalize the score and share 1 point each in this game number 1 of Division 3. And we might now have a live game in Wano, in the Wano monthly. Cheesh and Matrine are playing over there, which is quite nice. Hey, Octo People, thanks for the Twitch Prime. And yeah, GG. It is as it is. Yeah, GG as well. Octo People, much appreciated. Getting us one more step closer there to this lovely RAF head. As I'm trying to figure out if that other game has started already. We will be on a short break, and then we most likely will be back with a live Wano